What's up, everybody? New year, same sponsors. We're talking about Elite Sports, the only apparel company that's got our merch squaring around. We're talking about ELETE sports.com. They got everything from squaring around. They also sponsor their own athletes. So if you're trying to get some custom merch for your family, you're looking for a good gift, shop EliteSports.com. Use code SQUARE at checkout to get a nice discount. Tell them the Square Boy sent you. What's up, man? Should you stop our collection too if you're trying to get like a squaring around hoodie, jacket, sweater, hat. We got all that. EliteSports.com. Use code SQUARE. Guys, it finally happened. Texas State and home field. Explosions. This has been 3 long years in the making. You know them. You love them. One of the best names in college football and athletic apparel out there. Home field. Use code SQUARE at checkout. Hey, we finally can benefit from this partnership. Make sure to show some love to home field. Tell them the Square Boy sent you. Use code SQUARE at checkout. You get 15% off your first order. And by the way, you get 10% off every other order after that. Use code SQUARE at checkout. Tell them the Square Boy sent you. Peace, love, thank you lots.
Tired of winning the tailgate but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squaring Around with Jacob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
My favorite freshman from the men's basketball team is Robert Fields. Batman, a.k.a. Boardman, baby. Dude, that guy's so good.
No, DJ Hall is leading us to the promised land. It sucks that this is what it's come to. I'll tell you, if TJ finds a way to keep his job based solely on this freshman class, there's nobody who's walked on thinner ice for longer than this TJ Johnson fella. Like, he's truly one of a kind in Texas State lore. I don't think there's another coach who has done so little with so much and then potentially able to keep his job after one really good year in the Sun Belt. And that's to say we're 3-2 right now. We should be pumping the brakes, but I see glimmers of hope, Jacob. I see glimmers of like, I think we got something here. This could be a team that does something.
Dude, I told you. Every year I have hashtag hope.
No, stop it.
If
you say every year we're going to be good and then we're never good, you don't get to be like, I always say we're going to be good.
Our first year of the podcast, I said this team is going to be a top 3 Sun Belt team. Now, did they do that going into the tournament? No, but it's all about where you finish in beautiful Pensacola, Andrew. Well, we're going to find ourselves pretty soon. Not because football sucks. I think these guys are going to win out, but I'm not going to go to the bowl game.
Wow, what a twist. What a twist. All right, so break it down. So no matter what, Texas State wins this past weekend against Southern Miss. Nobody thought we could do it. I loved it because everybody bet against the Bobcats in my office. They were all coming to me being like, hey, this is the easiest bet of my life. I'm like, I hope you all burn in hell.
I bet against them too. I was straight up.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, not real money, but I said it on the podcast last week. I was like, I think Southern's going to send us to an early grave. None of this matters. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome to basketball season.
I know.
Wouldn't you know? I got to start up the newsletter again. I gotta put out more feelers to home field because it looks like we're gonna do another like January run.
No, I mean I love it. This is good. This is great.
But I'm not going, Andrew. I don't care.
That's funny. He's putting his foot down.
Unless it's like January something again, maybe I will go.
No, I mean like it's got to be in that Christmas window. That's when we're there. It would be really funny if it was
the dates are already out for all these.
Allegedly the 28th.
Oh, no, I think I saw the 26th.
If it's 26, I'll be there. I'll leave. I'll drive up there and do that. No problem.
I'm definitely not doing that. Yeah, 12, 26, 25. And I will be watching from home. Send the Zoom link. Send the Zoom link.
I will say, if I can get out of going to Pensacola, Florida, I'll
And
do
nothing
it. I
against the
will.
First Responders Bowl. They've been good to us, minus serving us cold chicken 2 years in a row in the booth.
It also kind of depends on who the team is, because I mean, could it be UTSA? Like, it might be. You
I
could see
swear
it.
to God, if we get the most consequential bowl game, I'm gonna have to fly out again. This is gonna suck.
I,
You know
I'm
how
just saying,
terrible it was
if it's
the
if
first time
it's
that this happened?
if
For
it's
me,
like UNT again or
last year was actually
Rice,
ideal
no,
scenario for me.
ideal, yeah.
Because the 26th is first of all, it's first day of Kwanzaa.
Which nobody celebrates, but yeah,
Oh, okay. Nobody celebrates. Come on,
I can
radio
tell you
station
from
guy.
yeah, I'm letting you know, Kwanzaa is not something that a lot of
Well,
people
I would
celebrate.
have to fly out on the 25th, which is the day after Christmas for real
That
Mexicans because real Mexicans celebrated on the 24th. So I'm gonna have to fly out on Christmas Day, get to the hotel on the 26th. I know this guy's not gonna get there till day of because this is how cheap this dude is. I'm gonna have to spend a hotel by myself. This is
He's
literally
not
the first
wrong.
year over again.
He's not wrong.
Except, yeah, I have
Why
more.
would why would I leave my family on Christmas Day to go to drive to Dallas?
Exactly. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it again, guys.
You could leave. What if you drove to San Antonio and then we carpooled up?
You're gonna be there?
I mean, if I'm in town, yeah. Like, what if you go from the Valley to San Antonio and then I'll just drive us from San Antonio to Dallas?
I don't even want to soft commit to this. This is a next week. We gotta actually start thinking about this problem.
That's so funny.
What are the odds that these guys squeak out a bowl win? What the heck is that?
It's pretty low, but also if the defense can hold a team to 14 points again, I mean, maybe they win a bowl game.
Where was this team
4 weeks ago?
the past 5 weeks? Yeah.
It's crazy. Brad Jackson looked incredible. The offense looked good. Lincoln Perry had like 21 touches. Like,
Yeah,
it was
literally
everything that you
nothing had to
wanted.
change on offense.
No, actually, low key, a couple things did change. I thought.
Chris
I thought
Don came back.
Chris Don played very, very well. Having him in the lineup and actually being a contributor was ginormous. But it also felt like there was like a backs against the wall type of vibe, and that's something that you should have felt 3 weeks ago. But you're glad you felt it at some point. Like there's a little bit of life in this monster. I love it. This is good.
We talked about TJ off the top, right?
Yeah.
This guy always talks about like time,
Wendy's.
like basically an hourglass. Like you are running out of time perpetually as a college athlete, you know? So your freshman year, like he doesn't even really believe in freshmen. And I know we're talking about basketball as it relates to football, but he doesn't even really believe in freshmen in the sense that like, oh, these guys get another year to like, figure it out. You have to figure out the entire time because the whole thing is about gaining experience, whether you're trying to play at the next level or you're trying to take these lessons into life. And that's why I really enjoy talking to TJ because he's like a realist. Like, how did this game impact me as a person in general?
Okay. I mean, sure.
What do you mean?
Like there should be more. I feel like there should be more negative impacts on him than like.
Well, yeah. I mean,
than there
based
are.
on that logic.
Yeah.
But I will say last year's team was just as talented as this year's team. We had Tylen Pope. Kendall Davis is basically Tylen Pope this year. There's a lot of talent on the team. Unfortunately, basketball had about a lot of bad luck last year, I'll say. And the year before, even more bad luck somehow. And the year before that, I think that was just poor recruiting. Who said that? What was it, man?
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I will agree. I think that it's one of those things where if you don't believe in your freshman, then you're not going to go far, especially now in the world of college athletics where if guys aren't playing, they're going to move. Like, you have to play everybody at this point. It's very ironic that boomers forever were saying that millennials were the participation trophy. And now like Gen Z has to be the participation trophy because if they don't participate, they're leaving. Like they will just take their ball and go home or they'll go somewhere else. So that I find that very ironic.
I was actually kind of concerned about the Texas Southern game for men's basketball as well because I was kind of convinced that they were going to beat us. And they nearly did. I mean, 67-77.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that that's kind of I'm
close.
not concerned about any of these teams just yet. Like once we get into Sunbelt play, I'll start feeling this type of way. Like we're still trying to figure out who's the leading scorer on this team. We're still trying to figure out like who's going to be the alpha, who's going to be the guy that you're giving the ball to late in the second half. And none of this really matters just yet. I will say if you lose games by double-digit points like UTSA's men's basketball team is doing, you're not going to have a bunch of people coming to those games. But so Texas State winning these games, say you end up 4 or 5 games ahead of 500 going into the month of December, coming out of Christmas break, you're going to get fans in the stadium, hopefully. Like that's the goal at least.
What the F stat line is this? Caden Gums, 30 minutes, 0 points. Huh?
Yeah, so that's the other part I was going to talk about.
He's just a distributor, or what are we doing?
I don't really understand why, because again, I've watched like 3 games now, 3 of the 5 games,
Yeah.
and I don't see it. Like you've been really high on Gums, and I just am kind of waiting for him to pop. I haven't seen him do anything special yet.
I saw a tweet from Caleb, because Caleb is out there at the games now with Colton. They're in the rafters tweeting about, stuff. And he was talking about how he wishes Caden would find his own like offensive rhythm. Me too. At this stat line, like, how many assists did he have? He had like over 10 assists, I think. Oh, it was just dumb.
That's funny.
He had 3 assists, whatever.
Not great, Jacob. Not great.
Yeah, not great. But Mark Drone had his best game of the year, and Mark Drone is another like returner. I mean, this team has like 3 returners tops from last year. So if you haven't ever tuned into Bobcat basketball, hashtag tap in.
And like none of them were the guy that comes back and has like an immediate impact. Like you remember those teams with
I don't know. If we didn't have Caden, this team would be much different.
Well, I'm saying like
I think you're giving him way too much less credit.
Not enough credit.
Yeah.
But you think about those teams that the Texas State had that were like winning games like consistently. You had Peacock that came back. You had Pearson who was there multiple years. Eric Terry was there multiple years. So you had like a group of people who, as a fan, I know who I'm getting. I know what I'm getting out of these guys, and you can see them getting better every single week. Like I haven't really felt that way since the pandemic. Like Mason Harrell has been a guy, or was a guy, I should say.
Have you been locked in like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching college basketball. I've been watching Texas State, but like, if you don't give me anything to cheer for, if the options are to watch Texas State or like to eat macaroni.
To your point, it's like, what has this team done for my viewership? Nothing, really. So yeah,
I can tell you last
year. Those teams didn't win anything either. Nigel Pearson, Eric Terry.
No, but they won regular season games. And you know me, I'm not a regular season guy. You got to win the Sun Belt tournament to make any real impact on
You are a walking contradiction.
But I will say, like, there were so many games last year that I turned off at halftime that I was like on my phone for the entire second half because it's just like, okay, well, we're not.
I think this boils down to you having a lot more free time in college.
That is also a very fair point. That is a very fair point. I like that. That's not, that's why this podcast makes sense. That's why this podcast works, is that I can say something that I truly feel, heart of hearts. Like I don't lie to you. And Jacob can just say, nah, I think that's BS. It's like, all right, it's probably right. Knows me pretty well.
I mean, yeah. Like, what are we talking about here? We're not locked in on these teams like past. I was literally on the square with half of the men's basketball team at some point.
You could still do that.
I still could do that. And shout out, we were supposed to do that. Alex Peacock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Bilo actually were supposed to link up at the square, but that was like right when I was in the summer part of the marathon training.
Yeah.
And thank God we didn't end up doing that because I had to run 17 miles the next day after I saw him.
Can I just say, too, the amount of people have come up to me at the office and said that, like, hey, I thought about trying to qualify for Boston and it's impossible. I was like, my buddy's trying to do that, but it's very difficult.
It's difficult for our age group. If we just keep doing what we're doing now, like midding out in these races, eventually, Father Time, baby.
That's why the dudes who are, 70 years old who are running these things, they're like not seeing a lot of young people at this marathon. What's happening here?
But I'm gonna break 4 for sure. My coach is like, you're ridiculous. You're absolutely gonna break 4.
So
you want to hear one of my workouts this week?
A couple years ago, I was working with a radio coach, and everybody was like, "Is it actually working?" And I was like, "Yeah." He tells me I'm getting better every week, and I go, "The guy that's paying you is telling you you're getting better at radio."
No, hang on. Let me do a little sidebar.
I would like to just bring this anecdote back.
Andrew was paying this guy in college, and he was doing absolutely nothing for Andrew. Didn't
I
get
think
him a
it's
job. Didn't help him network. Really didn't even help him like from a content perspective. He
Shout
would
out
just
David
kind of
Brody.
he would just kind of shit on Andrew week to week. And I was going, Andrew, what do you get out of this? You didn't get anything out of
I
this.
think I did. I think I did. Wrote a book out of it.
I've literally ran over 1,000 miles this year. So I think my running coach had way more of an impact than your radio coach in college, at least.
All right, that's fair.
Here's
Fair
here's a
point.
workout I'm doing this tomorrow.
Yes.
It's 2 miles warm up, then 3 rounds of 1,000 meters at 7:10 a mile, and a 2 minute jog after. So run 1,000 meters, then 2 minute jog. Run 1,000 meters, 2 minute jog. Then the same thing, like that same repeat, but for 800s at a 7 minute pace. And then the same thing, but for 600s at a 650 pace. And then I cool down until I reach 9 miles. That's crazy.
So,
That's
no
like
stupid
VO2 max
questions.
work.
Can I ask you a question? No stupid questions.
Yeah.
How do you measure meters? Like, how do you measure meters when you're doing these like workouts? Are you on a track? Like, how do you do that?
Watch, baby. It does everything for you. You plug it
Yeah.
into your old Garmin. But also you could do it on a track. I just don't want to be on a track.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's not fun to run on a track, just circling. Oh my God. That just reminds me of like high school. And I just don't want to feel that way ever again. So I go
But
to,
also, like, school's back in session, so you probably couldn't run on a track.
no, you can. Like there's some like open, kind of open gym
No.
stuff. It's like
Open track. That's crazy.
open track. Yeah. But I typically go to a park and I know like a segment that is for sure 400 meters.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I know, like, I can eyeball it, and also my watch. These things do everything for you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My VO2 max is a 54 right now, bro. I'm an elite athlete, pretty much.
Got you. Very cool.
We're gonna have my running coach on low key before my marathon. I think it'll be funny.
I think it would be funny.
So then she can tell everybody, no, Jacob is actually borderline an elite athlete.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Just stop.
Guy who texted in asking for more Texas State sports. I hope this is scratching your itch, Jacob Sports.
No, it's not. Okay, let's get back to the show. So football is going to play ULM this weekend at home. They open up as like 18.5-point favorites.
Jesus Christ, I know, dude. Yeah, this is obviously a trap game. This is the most obvious trap game I've ever seen. No, like, I mean, am I wrong? Like,
No.
Tell me I'm wrong. 18.5-point favorite. You just came off probably your best win of the season, to be completely frank. You have to win the next 2 games to be bowl eligible. If this team is not buttoned all the way up, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, that's a failure.
I'm looking at these ULM Warhawks right now.
They're awful.
Their guys
They're really
throwing
bad.
interceptions.
They're really bad.
There's
Like,
a team that we need to like focus on turnovers. Which we got a bunch of turnovers last week for no reason because we couldn't do anything the entire rest of the season.
Well,
But against Southern Miss, yeah.
here's the real stiff part, right? So I get so many text messages at the beginning of the game. Defense is on the field. They're running a 3-3-5. Andrew, they're running a 3-3-5. Oh my God, a 3-3-5. Like, this is what this has been the whole year. Like, they're doing something different. Like, they finally woke up. The 3-3-5 defense, historically in college sports, has been the defense that you use when you are going to be fired. Like, that is the I'm trying to save my job, we have to throw everything at the wall defense. TCU did it a couple years ago when Sonny Dykes came in. Again, they just didn't have defensive personnel. So they ran a 3-3-5 all the way to the national championship game and then got the doors blown off of them against Georgia, right? The 3-3-5 works in like short spurts. So if this is the short spurt we need to go to a bowl game, that's what this is for. But don't get it twisted. This is not something that, like, why didn't we do this from the beginning of the season? Because at the beginning of the season, people's jobs weren't on the line. That's what the difference is. It's a defense that you run when you're going to get fired.
The Southern Miss game was the Alamo for Texas State. That entire roster was like, we got literally nothing else to play for if we don't win today.
Not the roster, the coaching
Stupid
roster.
podcast guys are telling us that we don't have anything to win for. They put on Squaring Around back there and listen to
The
me
bull,
and Andrew
the
talk.
bulletin board material we give our own teams is crazy.
Yeah, and
Like
first of all, you're welcome. Where's our ring? Where's my first responder, number 3 ring?
when GJ Kenny gets up there and says we gotta shut out the outside noise, he's talking explicitly about this podcast. He says this is the outside noise.
He pushes out that raging Cajun that ran in the locker room and turns off Squaring Around.
What would Andrew and Jacob say in a moment like this? Andrew and Jacob think you guys are busts. They think you're washed. They don't think that you have a game plan. They think that this is a trap game. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. It's like, how did we get to this point where we're the enemy of the team that we love? Like, this is crazy. But you know what?
You
If
know,
need
you know
enemy,
what would
let it
ruin
be.
Andrew and Jacob's Christmas? Covering us the day after Christmas at our third versus volleyball.
That's what it is. It's like, how do we make their lives a little bit more miserable? Lose 4 winnable games back to back to back, make them the joke of their offices, and then on top of it, bring them to Dallas, Texas to make them watch this piss poor team play arguably another piss poor team in the UTSA Roadrunners. I really hope that that's what we
talk
get.
to any baddies in the valley? No, sir.
Oh, bring his ass up to Dallas. Make him drive the length of the state. I would rather go to Dallas than to Pensacola. I will say that.
Play the bowl game at UTRGV Stadium. Can we do that?
Yo,
Can that happen?
low key, that would be something. That would be really something. If like they did the First Responders Bowl, but they were like, we're moving into it. Well, actually, they probably have a 40-year lease, so it's probably always going to be at SMU Stadium.
I love Gerald Ford too, so it is a sweet spot in my heart.
What?
Not the president, the stadium.
Gotcha.
Anyway, to GJ's point, because I talked to him this week about it, like just vibes, like what was the vibe like, for that win and then like the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thanks.
Just, super excited as well to see it. Post game, saw a bunch of videos, a bunch of hype around the team. After, it felt like a couple of weeks, it was just been kind of like, in a dark spot for a while.
Yeah.
Just what was it like vibe wise, focus wise for the team leading up to that? And then immediately after.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just a super weird little stretch there. And I think it's not only just losing, it's one thing to, lose by a couple of touchdowns, get blown out or something. We're losing 1 point, overtime, double overtime, going on the road, play JMU, who's really good, just kind of like a weird couple of games there. So I think it's just kind of just the ups and downs. It's just, it's tough, especially on college kids. So, I think just having the opportunity to go on the road and play the team that's probably going to represent the West in the championship and being able to get a win, hopefully that sparked us. And, like you said, I think for us, it was all about, and that's been the message the last couple of weeks, is just playing for these seniors, one more opportunity, one more month with these guys, a couple more practices to try to get to that bowl game and play for those guys and something that, it's one of our goals, like you said, is still on the board. So I think just the excitement and happiness, hopefully can translate to another win on Saturday.
And he was like, well, we lose that Arkansas game, lost by a field goal. You guys will remember that. Tyler Robles, never forget. On homecoming, we lost to Troy in overtime. Marshall, we lost in double overtime. James Madison, we get the doors blown off of us. And then we lost by another field goal, Louisiana, and that's where the fight happened. This team's kind of been through a lot. They've lost literally every way that you could possibly lose this year.
If you wanted to be somebody who is like optimistic, you could say, well, they lost all these one-score games, so like the ball bounces one way. They could have been the team that's getting talked about on ESPN as the Group of 5 champion, and that's probably true. Like if
Is
they
it, though?
did,
I don't know.
well,
You can't ever blame one thing that happens and be like, that was the thing that kept us out of it, because there was a lot of things that actually
losing
led up to all of
one-score
those
games.
wins.
Losing one score games, yeah, I'd say. Well, it's the defense. That's the common trend. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
but it's like I would say, let's say a year from now, Texas State, because what we're like probably 1-4 in one score games this year. Let's say it's the inverse next year. We're 4-1 in one score games. Yeah, you probably could be a team that people are considering to be a conference champion if those are your stats. But it's kind of like last year. And again, I don't want to bring up the Minnesota Vikings, but last year the Vikings went 14-2, but they were like 8-2 in one score games.
When did
So
you
it's
bring
like,
up the Minnesota Vikings?
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't like to make the comp. I like to keep those things
I
separate.
don't want to bring them up. I'm bringing them up.
Bring them up anyway. But
Like
they
that
were
Green Goblin Masters took over.
But they were really good in one score games. And it's like, are they a good team or are they just good in one score games? Texas State's the inverse of that. They're really bad at one score games.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Comparing these guys against the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like is a fair comp. So I will do that. And the Cowboys looked great last night against the Raiders. Shout out.
High expectations, low ROI, no return on investment.
The Cowboys don't have a bowl game they can go to. You know, they can't chalk it up to a wild card game that they can be like, yep, we're a successful season. You know, at the end of the day, these guys the Bobcats still somehow control their own destiny. And whether that's the First Responders Bowl or any other bowl, I think we should all be kind of grateful that it's happening in the first place, because for a long time, this whole season pretty much felt like it was not going to happen.
I still cannot get over the fact that they won on Saturday. That's still shocking to me.
Yeah, that kind of ruined my Worst Fest vibes, I'll be honest. Because
they won?
They won. Everybody was like, dude, Jacob, aren't you psyched? And the whole time I was just like 1,000-yard stare, like,
I gotta go to Dallas. No, so I was watching it with people who bet against Texas State, you know, in their parlays and crap. And I'm watching the game on my phone and it's 27-0. I go like, I feel pretty confident, but I still can't take my foot off the gas. Like, I'm still worried we might lose this game.
Is gambling legal over there?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Sports betting. You gotta go to casino, but yeah.
But you can use the BetMGM app or whatever.
No, you can't do it digitally. It's got to be in person.
Really? You can't use a VPN and put your location some other way? And
yeah, you probably could do all that, but that's not what people
just
go to the
we
casino.
did for the library hours at Texas State for the frat stuff, you know, because there's a whole thing that tracks your. So instead of just going to the library and watching Troy like we normally would, we would just be at our apartment, but our location was somewhere else.
So I want to end the podcast talking about another Jacob Rodriguez, Texas Tech's linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. Do you know how many people text me about this guy and go like,
you do a podcast with Jacob Rodriguez?
I get texts about that and screenshots, and they go like, what did you guys say to have Jacob trend? It's like different Jacob, spelled differently as well. But people are very concerned. They're worried that you've said or done something to get canceled and like you're going viral for something.
I wish. No, this guy's literally living my life. He's a Heisman front runner somehow as a linebacker, which doesn't even make sense. It's not going to happen. Everybody give that dream up. It's going to end up going to a quarterback like it always does. And well, I guess Travis Hunter won it last year, but he's also Travis Hunter. Come on, let's be honest here, everybody. Anyway, he's a Heisman front runner somehow. His wife is a helicopter pilot in the Army. He's at Tech. Everybody loves him. He has a great mustache. He's got sick tattoos. I'm sick to my stomach at this guy's life, dude. I wish I was him so bad.
Taken to the house. It's Jacob Rodriguez.
Now let's transition to talk about your better half. You are a married student athlete, proud husband to Emma.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. And so you got married about 2 years ago?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's not just you're just married. You're married to a badass woman.
Yep.
What does your wife do for work?
Yeah, my wife's a helicopter pilot in the United States Army. She flies Blackhawks. Yeah, she loves her job. She loves her unit, and I'm just so proud of her.
And she loves you. She is clearly your biggest and loudest fan.
No doubt.
And the pass is picked off by Rodriguez. And then he hurdles.
And guess what? He's ruined my Google mentions. If you Google my name, Jacob with a K, he pops up. And for the longest time, when he wasn't really anything at Tech, you know, I mean, he had good seasons, but let's be honest, it's the Big 12. He plays linebacker, right? And I've been in media for 5 years. So my name's always at the top. Now, if you Google my name, he pops up. I'm on the second one. So he single-handedly trashed my Google rankings. I've never honestly
Do you know what would really ruin it?
wish bad on no man, to quote DeAndre Hopkins about the Bill O'Brien situation. I need this guy not to play on Sundays for my career.
If he wins a Heisman, because it's not out of the realm of possibility. Like if he has a couple
No.
really good games. No, I don't think so. They've never given it to a defensive or yeah, they've never really given it to a defensive player.
Yeah.
In like that sense of the word, like a linebacker. If they gave it to a linebacker, it would ruin you forever because his name would always be first. And then you could join my problem with Jimmy Kimmel.
I need to win a Pulitzer. You know how hard it is to win a Pulitzer? I
No,
couldn't even
even
win an
then.
Emmy this year.
Even then, if you won a Pulitzer, a Heisman Trophy still outranks that. And you know that.
Wow. Really?
1,000%. A Presidential Medal of Freedom maybe beats a Heisman. That's what we should do. During the summer, ranking trophies. Tony Award, greater than, like, Pulitzer, maybe?
Did you know some people thought that gold statue behind me was a Tony? And I've had
What
to
the
tell
hell?
Audrey, shout out Danny's girlfriend.
That's... Why?
No comment.
What?
Yeah, she went up to this girl and was like, this guy has a Tony. And the girl was like, huh? And I was like, I'm not on Broadway.
His boyfriend, Tony.
By the way, I was up for another Emmy this year. Lost it. Wow.
Oh, I did not get that text.
Yeah, no, I went out to Worst Fest and we came back. I was literally in bed by midnight. It was such an early day for us. But like I came back home to where we were staying, Will Thompson's place, shout out. And I was scrolling through like the live feed on the thing. So I was scrolling. I guess as I joined the feed, they had just done my category. So I watched the show for another hour and a half. And then they come back from break and they go, "Hey, thanks for watching." I go, where's my category? So I literally fell asleep, like trying to figure out if I lost or not. And I woke up to a text from the office like, "Oh man, that was such a tough category, right?" And I was like, dang, we lost." So, wow. Yeah.
That's tough.
Continuous coverage, but honored to be nominated type beat.
My parents asked about you because they had their Bears Vikings day out or whatever, and it was around the same time that you won your Emmy last year, where you came in and you said, "I threw up last night. I was so nervous." So they asked me, "How's Jacob doing?" I go, "Haven't heard anything yet." And they go, like, "Okay, well, as long as it's
we heard he's up for a Heisman."
Yeah, heard he's up for a Heisman. It's wild. No, I do think that's really funny that guy is living your dream.
Yeah. No, I feel like we should have him on the show low key. Like we have nothing to do with Texas Tech, but I mean, they're just
I think here's what we should do. Have him introduce the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Squarin. I'm Jacob Rodriguez.
I don't think Tech would give him to us though. He's like literally campaigning every day.
We'd have to reach out to him on his own. We'd have to go like behind screw the SID. We go to him. We send him like the podcast request. Hey, we don't even want you for the full thing. We just want you for this like intro clip because I think that would be so funny.
Yo, I've been looking up like Dave Campbell stuff, because we've been on this network since the jump, like the first year that they started doing this podcast. Yeah. There's a lot of other people on this show that I don't know. Who are you guys? Like,
yeah,
there's a new Longhorn show. There's a new There's a new Houston show. I don't think the Gambling Gauchos are on here anymore. So I'm like, dang, are we OGs? Kind of.
Well, did you see Craven's tweet to me when I was like, Sling TV, if you're looking for a TV partnership? He says, interesting. I mean, what are we talking about here? I'm just talking.
I remember one time I accidentally uploaded like slightly late. Oh no, I see the Gambling Gauchos, but their last episode on this network is October 15th. But I literally uploaded like late by accident, and Craven was like, "Are you guys done with this?" And I was like, "What? What are we talking about here?"
Done with the podcast?
Yeah, he was like, "Calm down." It's like just a busy week. We've had a busy year, low key. This has been a really busy season.
The last 4 months have been insane. Like that's the craziest part, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we moved across the country. Texas State loses literally more than a month of football, so it's kind of easy for me. And I didn't end up writing anything really. I might write my first article for DCTF this week. We'll see.
The funniest quote last week was, "This team is taking money out of my pocket.
It's true. They are. Like, what are we
This
talking
team
about?
is robbing me."
Yeah, if I was a freelancer dependent on this team being good luck. You better start working at In and Out, brother.
Yo, I used to work at Wendy's, Jacob. maybe TJ can give you a job.
Maybe he can't. Yeah, put in a good word for me, man. No,
That's
thank
so
God
funny.
I'm not. This is not my main gig.
Yeah, no. But the funny thing is that our
It's
podcast numbers
not the main gig, but we make some money from it. Pretty good.
the podcast hasn't done like poorly either. Like it's been okay, hasn't it? Like numbers wise, even with the losses. Really? Okay. That's
We had a
funny.
lot of momentum at the beginning of the season from all the Pac-12 stuff. We
Yeah.
had we were like averaging like 1,000 views for a while.
See, what's nice is that
And they lose 5 weeks in a row. It's kind of easy not to care about this team.
I keep myself insulated from this. I only have Jacob as my like tether to reality. I just do my content stuff and then get up out of this like little studio and then leave. But Jacob is like locked in. He's keeping track of everything. He knows the metrics. Doesn't know if the Gambling Gauchos are still doing a podcast or not. But you know that's not his gig. That's not his job. Yeah. So
no, I've just been like I've literally had to come back to live because it's just been like, okay, me and Andrew are gonna record for an hour. These guys are gonna lose, and then we move on to next week. We are contractually obligated to keep doing this show, otherwise we wouldn't do it anymore.
That's what I'm saying. With Sling TV, you're not contractually obligated to anything. It's month by month. You can get a day pass. you can watch. I'm telling you,
my dad actually texted me about Sling too.
Sling TV. You have a prime show right here whose numbers do okay even with losses. You know, so
I feel like that's being generous, honestly. We try to cover women's sports. All right, trash for those.
So
I'm not gonna stop doing it. I love you.
My point being, Sling TV, you have an opportunity here to get in front of some Texas State fans. That's all I'm saying. As we move on to having all these nationally broadcasted games, like you could join. Like, why not? I like the idea.
You guys score prediction for ULM Texas State?
28-20 Texas State.
Wow, really?
I think it's going to be close. I think people are going to be really upset.
Yeah, honestly, I think their defense, low key, could match up well against our offense. I don't think our offense will be outpaced by their defense at all. Let me say 35-24.
Okay. So you feel confident. That's good.
Yeah, I feel confident. It's South Alabama that I feel like will be kind of tricky. Because those jokers are kind of tricky.
Both of those games, man, I'm very concerned about. All right, now let me ask you this question. Next time we're talking, who will be the number one freshman on the basketball team?
I'm telling you, Robert Fields, dude. I like Robert. I like DJ Hall, though. He's 6'7".
Yeah, I'm going with Hall. 6'7". All right, cool beans.
Maybe they're just doing what we thought they would do the whole time. Like they're taking guys who they know are going to be good out of the rotation, letting the freshmen figure it out.
Oh, you're talking about basketball.
Letting the vets figure it out. Yeah, figuring out the rotation.
I think
Caden's the starting point guard next to Frank Emu, dude. He's been so good too.
To make a current events comparison to our football team, I think that they're sucking Bubba.
What?
How is it that you have not kept up with any of the Epstein stuff? You work in news. I don't understand this.
Bro, I told you. Wait, first of all, the only reason I know about all this stuff is because you told me about it, and then this drunk dude at Worst Fest, who I think was an undercover CIA agent, was talking to me about the Epstein files while I was trying to down a pitcher.
Yeah, probably my field agent. Like, come on. Can't believe this. That's fine.
He was like, Ziki Zaki, oi, oi. Did you know about this files?
Where were you at the island?
I was like,
by the way, speaking of islands, let's talk about your mermaid girlfriend. How's she doing?
What?
Did you block?
I don't know. I don't keep up with her.
Good.
Why?
Good. I didn't tag her in that picture. I don't know if you noticed that.
What picture?
When I posted the photo of everybody, like in that carousel.
Oh, I don't think I tagged her either.
Did not tag her.
She's been watching my story though. Hashtag grass ain't always greener.
Yeah.
When
Thanks
I
for
win
scoring,
my
everybody.
Heisman, I don't want to hear you guys talking.
Adios. Goodbye.
Hashtag grass ain't always greener. Which picture did you post? Oh, I see.
Bye, everyone. Yeah, Figgy was upset because I blurred her face.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, there's a photo where it's unblurred and then a photo where it was blurred. And I was like, blurred face. Post.
That's funny.
I'm funny, bro. What can I say? 6-7. Adios. Adios. Goodbye. Goodbye.
We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges. Better not come any closer.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.